Clint writes in, email to Andi.
Oh.
Clint has learned that if he wants to get a question answered, he can just email it directly to me. So unfortunately, that means that all the questions are being directed to me as well.
Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com and click on Ask Joe now on the air. We'll answer them.
Yeah. Or email Andi directly. We'll still answer him.
Hi, Andi. I recently received an inheritance of $100,000. I've been a letter carrier since 1993 and have both Roth and traditional versions of the TSP. I currently have a combined $300,000 invested. I have a current TSP loan of $35,000 at 2.5% for my residential home down payment that I made in 2017. I max out my Roth each year at $6,500, but fall short. I'm maxing out the traditional. I probably invest closer to $6,000 in my traditional TSP. My first thoughts are using my inheritance of $100,000 to first pay back the TSP loan of $35,000, increase my traditional contributions to max out my traditional TSP. I will probably work another 20 years. I also recently refinanced mortgage to 15-year 1.9. Where would you invest $100,000 in inheritance? Thanks. I think our man Clint is right on track. That's exactly what I would do. Pay off that loan that's in the TSP, max out the TSP, max out your Roth IRA, and refinance at 1.9, 15 year. I would keep a couple of years in cash.
Right. Emergency funds.
And then the rest, I would invest exactly like how you're investing in the TSP. What's your fund choice? What do you like? You know, what are you in? You could pick almost the identical funds. Of course, they're going to have different names. But you could pick some index funds that you would invest right into a brokerage account that, you know, kind of mirror or give you broader diversification. It's funny, Al, is that people know how to invest in a 401k to some degree.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's limited choices. So it's you pick a few.
Right. I mean, I guess you check a box.
Sure.
And then it's like, it comes out of my paycheck and all right, I have my 401k. But then they get cash.
Know it.
And then they're like totally confused on what to do.
Right.
And this is so common. It's like, what is the difference of investing in a 401k versus investing in a brokerage account? Nothing besides the tax.
Sure.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and the other flavor of this type of question is a lot of people, when they get an inheritance, they want to know how to invest that without thinking about anything else. And it's like, no, this is now part of your overall assets, your net worth, your liquid assets. You look at this as a whole and figure out what the right investments for you to make. Now, in a case of this, if you didn't already have assets out of retirement account and it's just the TSP, but you got a Roth and traditional version of the TSP. So now you've got assets in three different pools, if you will. You got the tax deferred, which we call taxable. You got the tax free, which is the Roth, and you got the what we call taxable, which is the non-retirement account. Now you can sort of pick and choose it. Once you figure out the right investment strategy, put your higher performing assets, more of the stocks in the Roth, because you're not going to pay taxes on that. Put your safer assets in the TSP traditional, because that if that grows fast, you're going to pay more taxes. And then in the non-retirement accounts, put whatever's left, right? Which will generally be a little bit more stocks.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Well, congrats. I think he's on the right path. Pay down the debt, save more. You got 20 years. You already have $300,000 saved.
Yeah.
And if you can crank up that savings even more, I think Clint's in a really good spot.
Yeah, and I would agree. I definitely would pay off the TSP loan. Yep. Get that out of there.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.